What's up, cool people? My name's Matt, aka That Random Christian Gamer. Welcome to today's live stream, and second week of this whole new schedule thing with overtime at work and Saturday morning live streams. So far, I guess it's going okay. Managing the editing stuff in between all right, I guess. I've pretty much just had to cut out some of the just pure, YouTube watching while eating meals and stuff. Just had to replace that with editing while I eat. But with that one change, I seem to be still kind of keeping up. In any case, today's live stream is kicking off with Bible study as usual. We're continuing through the book of Job with chapters 35 and 36. Basically, we'll be hearing more from this one guy, Elihu, and what he has to say to Job. And after that, we'll be getting back into Borderlands 4. It feels like I'm getting close to the end of the game. I'm not 100% sure. It might pull something like Borderlands 3 did, where it's like it seems like you're getting close to the end and you kind of face the main villains, but then something happens and it throws you for a bit of a loop, and then you have to come back around to them again later. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's the plan for today's live stream. Not sure how much else to say. Not too many other updates as far as what's going on for me personally or anything like that. So it seems that Twitch is going to run some ads fairly soon if I don't do that myself. While I get the Bible study pulled up, I might as well just go ahead and do that. So, Twitch folks, I will see you on the other side of the ads, I guess. Okay. Now, hopefully, it'll update the little ad manager thing on the... the Twitch stream management site, or whatever you want to call it, is I don't know, it wasn't showing anything about how long between ad breaks, right up until it was within that kind of 3-minute window where it actually pops up in the chat feed for me. Anywho. Enough about that random stuff. Whoa, not time to do that yet. I gotta move over to this tab first. There we go. Pulled the trigger just a little too early on that. I will say, at least this overtime I'm doing at work is definitely easing any feelings I had before of that I was possibly not keeping up with things there. At least for now, it feels like I'm totally fine as far as my output versus the rest of stuff at work. But anyway, let me just make absolutely sure that yeah, okay. Phone has been silenced, or at least set to vibrate. Okay, I think we're about ready to hop into some Bible study then. So we're looking at Job chapter 35 now. This guy, Elihu, has been speaking for a couple of chapters after essentially listening for apparently the whole book up to this point. Listening to the debate between Job and his friends who, of course, were going back and forth because, things were fine for Job until God decided to point out how good he was to this being known as Satan or the adversary or the accuser, something along those lines. And Satan's like, well, test him and see if he still, worships you. So Job is being tested, and in the midst of that test, this whole debate ensues between him and his friends. Because Job insists that he's innocent, and we don't know of any reason to believe that he was being punished for anything. It was a test. But his friends kept insisting and assuming that he had done something wrong. Because why would something so tragic happen? Or maybe not, maybe tragic wouldn't be the right word. Why would something so bad, so troubling happen to someone who was innocent? That doesn't fit within their theological framework. Same with Elihu. Doesn't fit within his theological framework, nor really within any Jewish person's theological framework at the time. We don't know exactly when this is taking place, but it seems like it's at least after the Israelites settled the Promised Land to some effect. Well, I can't say for sure it was before they got conquered, but yeah. Definitely the first part where it's after they settled the Promised Land. Anyway, so yeah, like none of the Israelites / Jews thought that people ever had bad things happen to them for no good reason, because their history showed that whenever their people, certainly collectively, followed God, that things went well, and when they didn't follow God, things went poorly. But that doesn't necessarily mean that for every individual person, all of the time, that it's such a, obvious separation between results. Like, it's not just clear-cut, good people get blessed, bad people get punished 100% of the time. But anyway, I'm kind of digressing. That was the whole argument between Job and his friends, and then Job's friends just kind of stopped arguing, whether they were tired of listening to Job or because they legitimately couldn't counter his arguments. So then as a result of that, Elihu jumped into the conversation. And now we're hearing more from him. So, let's see what he says. He's already been speaking for a couple of chapters. At first just kind of saying why he waited and why he's speaking now. And then kind of like starting to make his case against Job. So, let's hop in. Job chapter 35. Then Elihu said, "Do you think it is right for you to claim I am righteous before God? For you also ask, what's in it for me? What's the use of living a righteous life? I will answer you and all your friends too. Look up into the sky and see the clouds high above you. If you sin, how does that affect God? Even if you sin again and again, what effect will it have on him? If you are good, is this some great gift to him? What could you possibly give him? No, your sins affect only people like yourself, and your good deeds also affect only humans." Okay. I get, like, I don't necessarily recall Job asking anything like, what's in it for me? Now, within his circumstances, one could argue he might have questioned the point of trying to live a righteous life when it seems like he's just intentionally being pushed down by God. That is something he said to some effect earlier, but unless there's some sort of thing that I'm losing in from the translation, I don't think Job was ever trying to argue that nobody should live righteously, or that he was only seeking his own interest, even, when reflecting on just doing good things himself. I think Elihu, look, this is not an uncommon thing for people to do in arguments. Like, it happens all the time that when people are so focused on making a point, they will nitpick, and even in some cases kind of like twist the intent of someone's words by reading too much into the details of the words themselves and basically try to make it seem like, oh, you said this thing, so clearly you are, pro this or anti that or what have you, or misguided in some way. But yeah, and then he says down here, so like, if you sin, how does that affect God? Or if you are good, what does that benefit God? I guess he's at least starting to hint at saying, our good or bad deeds, like, the reason to be good is for the people around us, not for God's sake. God does not need us to be good people to keep things going. That's kind of what I'm picking up from that part of Elihu's words. Which, okay, fair enough. And before I read too much else into anything that he's saying, maybe I should continue on and see what further explanation he might possibly give. So, verse 9. People cry out when they are oppressed. They groan beneath the power of the mighty. Yet they don't ask, where is God my Creator, the one who gives songs in the night? Where is the one who makes us smarter than the animals and wiser than the birds of the sky? And when they cry out, God does not answer because of their pride. But it is wrong to say God doesn't listen, to say the Almighty isn't concerned. You say you can't see him, but he will bring justice if you only wait. You say he does not respond to sinners with anger and is not greatly concerned about wickedness. But you are talking nonsense, Job. You have spoken like a fool. And the chapter's already done. Geez, kind of short. But, okay, so Elihu, in a way, I guess, seems to be saying one of the main points that Job's friends said before, that, we don't necessarily know the timing of when God will, bring about justice, when he will punish certain acts of wickedness, or, restore people who are being oppressed to, decent living. But, like, it's gonna happen. It always eventually happens. And now I will admit that the only indication of any passage of time that we have gotten through this book and the text therein is that it has been at least a week since Job started to be tested. So, if it really has only been a week, or even like, okay, maybe give another day or so afterwards for all this back and forth discussion, but like, if it really has only been about a week that Job has been tested like this, I can kind of understand a little bit where Elihu's coming from saying this, because then it might seem like Job is just being impatient, waiting for God's justice. And Elihu here is pretty much saying, look, you're saying God doesn't respond to these things at all, but like, hold your horses. It's only been about a week. Just wait, and God will bring justice, whether it's good or bad for you. So, yeah, from that standpoint, I get Elihu bringing this up, especially if it really has only been about a week. Job sure makes it sound like it has been a lot longer, but there's no concrete evidence or wording in any of what they say to claim that it has for sure been any significant passage of time more than a week. So, yeah. But he will bring justice if you only wait. Fair enough. At least potentially. Now, if it has been significantly longer than a week somehow, that we're just not told in the text, then, like, any, outcry from Job complaining about, lack of justice or lack of hearing from God, that, like, the longer the passage of time since his testing began, the more understandable that might become. However, like, given only what we know for sure, this could be completely understandable from Elihu here. And yeah, like, I would definitely agree. It is wrong to say that God doesn't listen. I don't think Job ever said that God doesn't listen at all. Now, there were times when Job spoke in rather absolute-sounding terms, saying that, wickedness goes unpunished, and some things of that sort. I still think he was just more trying to say that sometimes that happens, and not that it happens all the time. But the way it was worded, I could understand somebody hearing that and thinking, wait, Job really doesn't think that any of this wickedness that we see is brought to justice? Like, none of these people are punished how they deserve? We see plenty of examples where people are punished, even in this lifetime. Sometimes not, but definitely sometimes within this lifetime they are punished. So, yeah, like, if somebody heard Job's words and interpreted them that way, again, kind of understandable. And maybe that's been the whole problem between Job and his friends and Elihu, is that Job, says something trying to just make a case for exceptions to what the other people in the discussion have said. That, like, it's not always exactly the way that the others have described it, but perhaps the wording therein made it seem like Job's exceptions that he was trying to highlight were how he thought things went all the time. Now I'm perhaps, reading a little bit more than what the text says, or trying to, look into it. So, like, do not necessarily take what I just said as the truth of the matter. But I would find it a whole lot more understandable if that's part of what was going on here. Anyway, there's a couple of notes here at verse 14. This says this note applies to verses 13 and 14. These verses can also be translated as follows. Indeed, God doesn't listen to their empty plea. The Almighty is not concerned. How much less will he listen when you say you don't see him, and that your case is before him and you're waiting for justice? Okay, rather than, but it is wrong to say God doesn't listen, say the Almighty isn't concerned. Say you can't see him, but he will bring justice if you only wait. So, like, okay, in the rewording within the note there, that seems to be more continuing the idea of, like, if people are just, like, making assumptions about God's justice, or, like, only pleading with God purely for their own self-interest and not because there's, like, a genuine injustice or anything like that going on, or simply because they want to, like, show off God's power or something. Like, if somebody has bad motives for asking something from God, then, God's not necessarily always going to respond to that. Certainly not the way that they want. So having a continuation of that idea also makes sense in this section here. And I think then the reword of verse 14 is continuing off of that and trying to have Elihu say, well, you say you don't see God, so you're, like, just speaking empty words, making empty requests of God, when you don't really seem to have a close connection with him. So why would you expect an answer that you don't seem to trust in? Real quick, what's up, JD? Hope you're doing well. Okay, another note here at verse 15. As in Greek and Latin versions, the meaning of this Hebrew word is uncertain. I assume the one translated as wickedness? Because if you're talking about a specific word, it makes sense to put the note next to that word. Like, they've put these notes mid-sentence before, so anyway. Okay, well, that's just a minor little translation note. So, yeah. Again, depending on how you look at the broader discussion and the possible ways people are understanding Job's words, perhaps some of this stuff Elihu says makes a little more sense. Otherwise, he's very much kind of making assumptions, jumping to conclusions, and perhaps even reading a little too much into Job's words and, like, maybe even intentionally skewing them to make his own point. I'm trying to also kind of see, you know, both sides of it and get an idea of how Elihu might be justified in a way to say what he's been saying. So, like, you know, again, if he took exception to Job's words because it sounded like he was saying something is the case all the time when Job was only trying to point out an exception or something like that, like, okay, so it's a misunderstanding then, not actually a, like, malicious attack or twisting of the truth. But anyway, that's all we got for this chapter. More from Elihu next time. But we'll get to that when we look at chapter 36. Okay. Let me get some water here. And then, speaking of chapter 36, let's move along and get that rolling. Okay. Okay, Job chapter 36. Elihu is still speaking, and it's still under the same subsection heading of chapter 35. So, Elihu's going to talk some more about God's justice, I guess. Of course, broader context. Job's life was great until he started to be tested because Job pointed him out to some being in heaven who said, yeah, well, you've given him a great life. Test him a bit and see if he still worships you. So then God allowed testing to happen. Job lost everything he had, essentially, and was also, you know, physically afflicted with boils and all sorts of just not fun stuff going on for him. And then pretty much the whole rest of this book so far has been this massive discussion between Job and his friends, for the most part, and then more recently this guy Elihu, where Job has insisted that he's innocent, but everyone else in the conversation keeps saying, no, Job, God doesn't just punish people who are innocent. You must have done something wrong. And all of your arguments are just, rebellion or your lack of understanding of your own sin. But, like, whether they're misunderstanding Job's intentions or perhaps to make their own case intentionally reading too much into his words and going beyond what he meant, I can't say it's 100%, obvious one way or the other. In any case, last chapter, Elihu, again, was talking about God's justice, kind of responding to Job's prior claims of God not bringing people to justice and saying, just wait, dude. Like, all people are brought to justice eventually. So, whatever your situation deserves, it will eventually happen. Just hang on. Or at least, I take that as kind of the main point of what Elihu said last chapter. But, I guess now we'll see what else he says in chapter 36 here. So here we go. Elihu continued speaking. Let me go on, and I will show you the truth, for I have not finished defending God. I will present profound arguments for the righteousness of my Creator. I am telling you nothing but the truth, for I am a man of great knowledge. God is mighty, but he does not despise anyone. He is mighty in both power and understanding. He does not let the wicked live, but gives justice to the afflicted. He never takes his eyes off the innocent, but he sets them on thrones with kings and exalts them forever. If they are bound in chains and caught up in a web of trouble, he shows them the reason. He shows them their sins of pride. He gets their attention and commands that they turn from evil. Pausing there. So, yeah, kind of continuing along the same point, it seems, where he's saying that, well, basically, whatever people deserve for their actions, God's eventually going to bring about the due result of those actions. Whether it be, wickedness being punished, or, building up the innocent. Either way, God eventually brings about justice. Now, I still, this seems like a little bit of pride on Elihu's part coming through. First off, for just thinking that A, God needs to be defended, and B, he's the one to do it right now. God is not a fragile being that needs people to defend him or anything like that. Now, I mean, we might try to make a case for, God's justice and righteousness and power. It just sure, we want to try to tell people about how great God is in general, but defending God or God's actions, God doesn't need us to do that any more than, like Elihu said in the prior chapter, what does God gain if we're good? We don't do good things just for God's sake. The good things that we do more so benefit the people around us. And if we are wicked, that doesn't harm God's case at all, because God is just and righteous. And if we are not, that just means that we're the ones in the wrong here, even if we claim to represent God. But that's not God himself doing anything that could be deemed wrong. Some people might try to argue that certain instances of God commanding that, certain people groups be wiped out or anything like that, some people would try and argue that that was wrong, but it's pretty much always framed as a punishment for what those people did, and or B, usually, and B, God clearing the way for his own people. In any case, yeah, the fact that Elihu thinks he's the one to defend God here, and claiming that he's a man of great knowledge, like, generally smart or wise people don't really need to tell you that they are. In any case, yeah, more about God eventually bringing justice, whatever that might look like for each individual case. Okay, moving on to verse 11. If they listen and obey God, they will be blessed with prosperity throughout their lives. All their years will be pleasant. But if they refuse to listen to him, they will cross over the river of death, dying from lack of understanding. For the godless are full of resentment. Even when he punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. They die when they are young, after wasting their lives in immoral living. But by means of their suffering, he rescues those who suffer, for he gets their attention through adversity. God is leading you away from danger, Job, to a place free from distress. He is setting your table with the best food. But you are obsessed with whether the godless will be judged. Don't worry, judgment and justice will be upheld. But watch out, or you may be seduced by wealth. Don't let yourself be bribed into sin. Could all your wealth or all your mighty efforts keep you from distress? Do not long for the cover of night, for that is when people will be destroyed. Be on guard, turn back from evil, for God sent this suffering to keep you from a life of evil. Okay, so unsurprisingly, Elihu's kind of like reciting more of the big theological framework of good and evil that the Jewish people of the time had. If you do good things, God will bless you. If you do bad things, God will punish you. And for those who are generally righteous, if they mess something up and get punished by God, they will then be able to recognize their own wrongdoing, repent, come back to God, and then, they will be spared from further punishment. They will be made right with God. They will, then return to prosperity, is essentially what he's saying here. But for the people who don't listen to God, don't worship God, don't respect God, whatever punishment that they get from their wrongdoing is just going to lead them more and more swiftly to their demise. That's what I understand to be the general gist of what he's saying here. And then he's like specifically looking at Job saying like, hey, this punishment from God is meant to bring you back to righteousness, to show you that you have done wrong so that you will come back to God. But be careful that you don't fall off the path of righteousness. Like, don't let this punishment turn you away from God and then, lead you to try and seek out other things that won't restore you. But still, in some way, this has all pretty much been said by other people at some point in the broader discussion. So, like, I still don't know why Elihu feels like he needed to speak up in this discussion when so far, at least as far as the general gist of things are concerned, he hasn't really added much of anything new. He hasn't really said anything that wasn't already said between Job and his friends. I mean, maybe some little details here and there, like especially in the last couple of chapters. I don't know. There's little bits here and there that I guess make it understandable that he wanted to speak up. But still, that there are assumptions being made about Job's situation, that he's being punished for doing something wrong, and that the punishment is God trying to bring him back and show him that wrong so that he can become righteous again. This stuff didn't happen to Job as a punishment. It was simply a test of faith, because God wanted to believe, and perhaps still does in the background of all this. You know, God pointed Job out as an example of a good, righteous man, and, you know, the adversary / accuser / Satan said, test him and see if he still, you know, worships you and trusts you. Well, we're still seeing all that and seeing what Job's overall reaction and response is going to be, or perhaps what the end result of all that is. Anyway, I'm digressing now. So yeah, since it was not actually a punishment, it's also not exactly right for Elihu to claim that all this happened to try and bring Job closer to God. Or it's certainly not to, like, restore him to righteousness. He was righteous to begin with. Now, could it make Job, you know, closer with God? Maybe, because his reliance on God and God alone might be strengthened by all this in the end. But anyway, that's just a maybe as far as where we are in the book. Couple of notes here. Verse 18 could read, but don't let your anger lead you to mockery. Okay, don't see what that has to do with wealth. Although I will say that makes a little more sense in the context, perhaps, because, like, Job's upset about, you know, apparent injustices in the world and things like that, and could perhaps be angry over that. And so, like, then Elihu is saying, you know, don't let your anger about this apparent injustice lead you to say things that are wrong, or, you know, turn you away from God. I mean, it says mockery specifically, so yeah, I think it's more so the former, like, don't let that make you claim things about God that aren't true. Wealth there could instead say all your cries for help. I mean, nothing in particular really is a foolproof, you know, shield to, you know, keep us from harm or distress or anything like that. I mean, if God does not want us to come to any harm or distress, God will make that happen. But Otherwise, there's nothing that's, 100% solid preventive asset or measure to keep us from experiencing hardship. The end of verse 20 here. Oh, this is supposed to be for 16 to 20. Just saying the meaning of the Hebrew in this passage is uncertain. So, especially verses 16 through 20, I guess, take more as like a general gist kind of thing, not so much a, like, don't necessarily scrutinize the exact wording of it. But anyway, okay. I'm going to continue with verse 22 here. And I think probably just read through the end of the chapter. But we'll see. Verse 22. Look, God is all-powerful. Who is a teacher like him? No one can tell him what to do, or say to him, you have done wrong. Instead, glorify his mighty works, singing songs of praise. Everyone has seen these things, though only from a distance. Look, God is greater than we can understand. His years cannot be counted. He draws up the water vapor and then distills it into rain. The rain pours down from the clouds, and everyone benefits. Who can understand the spreading of the clouds and the thunder that rolls forth from heaven? See how he spreads the lightning around him and how it lights up the depths of the sea? By these mighty acts he nourishes the people, giving them food in abundance. He fills his hands with lightning bolts and hurls each at its target. The thunder announces his presence. The storm announces his indignant anger. Okay. Yeah, God is all-powerful. I'm still kind of now going back to, Job's friends already talked about how powerful and wise and just that God is. What are you contributing to the conversation that is new here, Elihu? Now, okay, especially verses, I'm saying like 26 through 31, kind of showing away God's provision, but even Elihu himself already kind of pointed out how God is the one sort of overseeing it all, making sure it all works, it being, life and basically everything on Earth. And he knows what to do to provide things for people, like bringing rain onto the land and, making edible crops grow from it. So, okay, yes, you're giving more examples of God's power, justice, righteousness, wisdom, all that kind of stuff. It's still, in a way, it's nothing really new. And this whole stuff about the lightning, I'm like, okay, yes, I suppose that's a further demonstration of God's power. I don't see too much else, generally speaking, as to why that would be brought up. But he is talking about God's power, so yeah, okay. So I guess I'll just look at some of these notes here and see what else. Okay, could read as he governs instead of he nourishes, which, honestly, reading it as governs would fit a bit more with what Elihu said earlier about, God being the ultimate judge, that he holds everything together, and if he were unjust, how would he be qualified to oversee and, just even judge what happens in the world. But God is just. So that's part of why we benefit from God being over it all. And right at the end there, I can read, even the cattle know when a storm is coming. Meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain. I think that's just for that last phrase there, where the main text reads, the storm announces his indignant anger. But yeah, just even beyond thunderstorms, just look at nature as a whole and how it functions, often without any kind of influence from us. God sustains all of that. So, really, there's all kinds of things out there, whether storms, or plants, or animals, or whatever, that show us God's power. And I guess maybe the broader point Elihu is making here is that, Job shouldn't be complaining about how God does things, because God knows better than us. God is more powerful than us. He is the one who makes it all work together. And without him, none of it would work together. So, especially in light of what he said in the last chapter, where he's just Job, just wait and you will see God's justice. Attaching this to that kind of says, it's all under God's control, so don't try and rely on anything else, or try and, put your hope in some other thing to make it right. It's all going to go how God wants it to. And God is known to, do whatever is needed to eventually bring about justice. So, yeah, just be patient, Job. It'll happen eventually. And God is powerful enough that literally whatever needs to happen, he can make it happen. All right. Yeah, so I guess that's going to do it for chapter 36. So, we only got 4 more chapters left. We're wrapping up Job here fairly soon, but next chapter is actually going to be more from Elihu still. But we'll read more on that next time. Okay. Once again, need to get some water. Alrighty. So, well, that took a solid 50-ish minutes. Yeah. Not too much else to say or do at the moment, other than switch things over to gameplay, but I will go ahead and run the next set of ads on Twitch while that happens. So, see y'all in a bit over there. Okay. Like, let me boot up Borderlands 4 and make sure it's up and running and doesn't need any other updates or anything like that. Because even up to fairly recently, it seems like there have been some kind of updates or patches or whatever you want to call them when I have started up the game. But it seems like it's just gonna hop right on in here, so yeah. Alright. Let me try and get myself set up here at a reasonable angle for both the game and looking at stream chat info stuff. Is there anything? No. Seems like I managed inventory and any upgrades and stuff like that already. I don't appear to be getting any ammunition from these, which probably means just that I was not lacking any. Okie day. Oh, I need to change the stream category on Twitch. Yeah, this is the part of things where I get into a game. This is definitely a rated M game, so if for that reason you wish to stop viewing, I understand. But, yeah. I personally am of the opinion that we don't necessarily need to, as Christians, stay completely away from rated M games, or even any games in particular. I mean, I've had whole discussions on this and made videos on this before. Like, if it's obviously causing you to do something sinful or think anything sinful, then yeah, maybe don't play it. But otherwise, like, enjoy a game for what it is, and don't, like, avoid stuff just because you... Anyway, I'm digressing on a major tangent. Let's just hop in. Just, again, fair warning, rated M game, especially for violence and some language here and there and stuff like that. Okay. So, I believe we are in what's known as the Ascension Tower here in Borderlands 4. Very hard, jeez. I don't know if it's gonna be just ascend this thing and fight the Timekeeper, but sure seems like we're getting close to him and possibly to the end of the game.
Vault Hunter, I know what you're doing. I know you're fighting to end this, to break Kairos free. I wanted to tell you something. I'm watching. I'm always watching.
Oh, Jesus.
They are watching. Helpless.
So the Timekeeper is now, like, just possessing everyone?
For millennia, I held the vault closed on my own. It wasn't until people arrived with their messy free will that things began to break.
It's time to clean the slate. Remove these bugs in the system. Stop merely watching and start anew with just a vault and its Timekeeper.
I'll kill you before you can hurt them.
Do what you do best, Vault Hunter.
but you may find yourself breaking open a prison full of empty cells.
What do I do here?
That's what you choose to do.
Okay.
Free will is a complicated thing.
Well, at least that kind of seemed simple enough. Just break out of the thing that was trapping me. Well, I sure hope I already marked stuff as junk that I wanted to get rid of. Because I really don't feel like going through my inventory right now. Whoa. Reach tower. Reached. I thought we were already in the tower. Okay. Is this stuff climbable? Yes. Where do I go? Probably over this way and then up. Okay.
Vex, don't think I've forgotten about you.
Oh, RJ, you're still alive.
Super not the time, dude. Got a planet of possessed people to free.
You don't care about the people of Kairos. You're here for the vault. You're just a murder tourist. A grave robber, shooting and looting your way through piles of people who never wanted you here. You already doomed this planet and all the others when you freed Lilith. Hell follows her, and now there's no stopping it. So don't talk to me about saving your friends. At least they'll get to die without feeling your hands around their throats.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was gonna have some overshield for a little bit and be able to, you know, use that gun in like its kind of epic no ammo using mode. But it seems that was not meant to be for the moment. Oh, hello. Okay, maybe now.
That was quick.
Yeah. Really appreciate that. As long as I have overshield, well, as long as I have any kind of shield, that gun doesn't, the shock gun there doesn't use up any ammo. But especially if I have overshield, it then, like, doesn't make me lose my normal shield either. Okay. I guess I'm just supposed to keep jumping along these. Oh yay, more cratches. Fun. Like, this one's really close to me, though. Maybe I could just shotgun it. Not if it moves back and forth like that. Also just realized I have not been using my ordnance weapon thing at all. Alright, where do I go from here? Doesn't look like I'm supposed to hop onto one of those pyramid things. Definitely don't jump down. No. No. So, what the... Ah, there we go. Okay. Figured if it wasn't at eye level or down low, there's probably something up high that I needed. More ammo over here, possibly. Maybe even new weapons. That is not better than what I currently have, but I'll take it to eventually sell. Okay, climbing up here now.
Few have seen this place. I built it for Zadra. She had a soft spot for plants. And I suppose I had a soft spot for her.
Yeah, I'm like, why does this look like a big open area where I should expect some kind of battle to happen?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What is going on now? Doesn't look like I can really hit anything from here. I think it actually just wants me to fall down into the area below here. Okay, so now what? Hey! I found a vault symbol and got 5 SDU points. And I guess I go this way now. Alright. Time for some action. Trouble! Get him, boy. Oh, yeah. Whoa! What the heck just hit me? Jeez. So thank you, Trouble, for the overshield and all that. Still some enemies left. Okay. See, I didn't see anything like that light up before I took a bunch of damage earlier, so... Well, had I seen that, I would have been less confused. But I did not see that, so I was confused. Anyway, okay. Moving along, I assume up this way, because where else would I go? What are you? Hold up. Okay, so I'm on a platform. Do I jump from here to this, maybe? Okay. Seems like that was the right thing to do. That opening looks like there could be a lot of enemies coming from there. See, so that deals more damage, but it doesn't have the shield exploit that my current SMG has. Any enemies over this way? Yes, but they're just now dropping in. Alright, Trouble. Oh, okay. I thought for sure I had overshield. You know what? Like, I have not been using my shotgun very much. Might as well give it a whirl. Generative. What the heck does cold-hearted even mean?
I wasn't even worried.
I mean, unsurprisingly, that might add some cryo damage to whatever it does. But otherwise, no idea. See, that's the thing. There's all those, like, traits or modifiers or whatever you want to call them for these enemies with little to no explanation of what they do. Other than the ones that are completely obvious just by the name or the description, like, regenerative. Yeah, okay. It automatically heals. That makes sense. Oh, hello. Alright, Trouble. Do your thing. Jeez. Okay. Need to heal. And just like that. Good golly. And, oh, Trouble must have just saved my life there. Holy cow. Okay. Thank you, Trouble. Just for that, you are currently invincible. Big Trouble. Yeah. Really? Of course, while I'm focused on the big dude. That is vampiric. Doggone it. Why? Why must... Like, just some of these combinations of enemies and other things going on in the arena at the same time. It's just, like... constant distraction from the thing that's actually probably the biggest problem.
I will fabricate your end.
And now all those enemies, at least any of the ones that were alive before, are back and at full health. Okay, Warden gone. I'm gonna try and get rid of all the smaller enemies first this time. And not focus on the bulkhead until they're all gone. Alright, big trouble. Ouch, that's the kind of crap that was dealing tons of damage to me. Jeez. Take that.
Time to walk on the wild side.
Bro, what is going on over here? What is going on everywhere? Ouch! Why does that have to hurt so much? Okay, well, dude that spawned that attack is gone now. So, take that. Pinhead, be gone. And, talk on it. It's like we got two kind of major problem enemies at the same time here. Right now the bulkhead seems like it's actually the lesser of the two. Oh, geez. And then, while I'm focused on that, I've got a regenerative warhead right in my face. Lovely. Ouch. That's the kind of stuff that makes me not so fond of the warhead enemies. Oh, didn't even think I had gone back to this gun, but sure.
I'm not gonna stop, Vault Hunter, until one of us is dead.
So much loot has dropped.
Vault Hunter, don't know what's going on up there, but whatever you're doing, do it
I
fast.
kind of want to check all of it, but at the same
Vault Hunters are
time,
acting real crazy.
I also don't want to break the flow too much.
You have to take them out. Lilith, can we get to them? Not in time. Vault
What is this? That's a shield. Seemingly not as good as my current one. I'm like, where do I go now? I think this way. Really? Compared to what I just fought, yeah. That synth that came out right there is just absolute peon level threat. Meaning not at all. Okay. More stuff to grapple across, okay. Or grapple onto. To get across. I don't know, anyway. Should I do these things right now? Oh, jeez. Hold on, what else? Oh, jeez, there's another. Log on it. I wanted to try to use the bun shocking gun while I had overshield, but then that went away very quickly. Okay. There's one vehicle down. And now that one's looking straight at me. Go. Yes.
This was personal from the start.
Overshield, shock damage.
Antithetical to my order. The vault will stay closed.
Oh, is that where I put in
The command bolts will open the way.
the things that I got
This
from,
one's for you, Zach.
you know, the main sub bosses throughout the game? Probably. Well, let's see. Place. And open.
The door as big as the
Okay.
Timekeeper. Gotta be close now.
I am enjoying the moment to myself. Stargazing. Join me. If you like.
Now it just says ascend. I just realized I'm not exactly hearing this game the best. I'm turning up the volume a little bit on my TV. Is there anything else around here that I might be interested in before I ascend? Nothing obvious, anyway. Okay. Just, sorry. You never know when they might sneak a little, like, weapon drop or something like that.
If you had never arrived, we would still have futures, gleaming and bright, within the Timekeeper's crystalline order.
But now we all will die. Every last soul. Because of you and your chaos.
Tower's control room. That certainly makes it sound like I'm close, and surprise, surprise, it seems like they want to give you one last spot to drop off your unwanted inventory before you head to the final battle, or whatever this battle is that's coming up here. Whether or not it's actually the final battle, I'm not going to say for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll still mark that as junk. What all have I picked up? AR, pistol. That's 704. That's 1,005. Jeez. Okay. That's a pretty high DPS difference. That's also a pretty high DPS difference. Although this one does have cryo damage. Still. SMG. With technically higher DPS, so... just depends on whether I want to, you know, try and utilize that shield exploit or not. Am I even going to have opportunity to do so in whatever battle's coming up? I don't know. But we're about to find out.
All I have ever known is forever. That is my use. Forever. Here. As the clock ticks, I remain still. My order is eternal. You are a moment that shall soon pass.
And here we are at the Timekeeper.
Never doubted you, buddy.
Oh boy.
Rejoice for your glorious head.
Unleash the beast.
Is he gonna summon any minions or anything like that?
When you're dead, I'll
Bruh. Literally could not see a thing. Ouch! What the crap? Really? What am I even supposed to hit to fight for my life here? Huh? I'm sorry, but you can't just give me stuff with unclear hitboxes that practically,
Dying as someone else.
well, maybe it doesn't one shot, but at least two shots me. And then also, like, not have any way for me to fight for my life in this game. That's just, no. That's not how the mechanics of this game work.
No, you will perish.
In order to make things any kind of fair.
Your death is not. How exciting.
See, okay, obvious light beam thing.
Everyone has a face.
This. It just freaking... I get that it follows me around, but like... What else do I do aside from just hope that I'm able to run away from it?
Better dodge.
Meanwhile, basically necessitating that I take my attention off the Timekeeper himself.
Only violence.
Can't stand still.
You know what? Maybe I'll just let Trouble handle the bulk of this.
All your efforts. Lost. Wasted. Tragic.
I'll outrun him.
Ascension.
Whoa, hello. I am airborne.
Rejoice for your glorious end.
Have yourself a feast.
Essence of pain.
Okay, this is also getting really annoying with the constant throwing me up into the air.
You only accelerate my own decision. It's a dissolution. Enjoy this moment. I certainly am.
Also, my shots are like hardly doing anything.
Majesty made lethal.
Well, down to his last health bar. At least there's that. And now he's basically just not even really hitting me. Like, we went from everything hits me and does a lot of damage to, like, nothing hits me.
I'll wipe the slate clean.
It's like I just kind of found a sweet spot, and the game doesn't know what to do about it. Ta-da!
Enough! Free will. A rampant tumor, killing my perfect system.
It would not surprise me at all if there's like a second phase of this. If this is indeed the final battle, which you never know with Borderlands.
All you do is destroy, while I must hold back chaos for eternity.
You think you're the prisoner? You did all of this yourself.
Is that what I look like through the eyes of a Vault Hunter? Someone who has a choice. I was given
Whoa, okay. Primordial Guardian. So like, is he basically the like Vault Guardian thing, like we've had in previous games?
Unleash the beast.
I don't know how exactly I gained overshield for a little while, but I did. Where'd you go? Over here. Whoa, jeez. Okay, well, none of that actually hit me there, so, Eat shock damage. But now I'm out of overshield, so no more shock damage for the moment.
Yawn.
Oh, jeez. What?
You dick. Just keeping me on my toes.
I'm like, if I shoot these things, is that gonna do anything? No. Okay. And I am completely out of shotgun ammo. Ah. Okay. Ow. What the? How do I get out of this? I ascend. Okay. Is there somewhere else I'm supposed to go now?
Onward and upward.
Or do I just shoot him from up here? Well, that platform's gone now. So, yeah, that clearly was not, like, the permanent answer.
And raise you shadows.
Come on, man. Ah, really? Are you freaking kidding me? With the timing of that. Am I gonna have to redo the first phase of the battle too? Just That is freaking stupid. I'm trying to grapple onto something, because given the current phase of the battle, that's what it seems like I'm supposed to do. And then you just throw me off a cliff because the Timekeeper decided to phase out his platforms in that exact moment. Good golly. Just a stupid coincidence there. And yep, I gotta redo the initial phase of the battle. Fun. I highly doubt I'm gonna luck out with this phase like I did the first time around.
It's all going as expected. I'll wipe the slate clean.
Okay, need to pick a safe spot to land. Maybe like this.
No one will remember.
Get slow!
Yeah, meanwhile, like, practically nothing seems to be happening to trouble the entire time. Jeez. And just like that, completely out of health and shields. What is all this? He didn't do this last time.
Better dodge.
Yeah, you remember my comments about feeling like I kind of lucked out last time?
All your efforts.
Kill him dead.
This is why.
Tragic.
Temper tantrum, huh?
Enjoy this moment. I certainly am.
I'll outrun him.
Okay. Phase 1 done again.
Every moment that passes.
And now for phase 2.
Death to a life imitated.
I'm kind of curious if / what the little light things do. I'm sure the little glowy pyramid things deal damage to me. Alright, you know what, Trouble? Be big.
Unleash the beast!
Honestly, I thought for a second he was about to do the thing where I had to jump up on the platforms. But no, that's probably not going to happen until the shields are down. Ow. What the? Oh, you gotta be... I could have sworn I had just stepped right there. Am I seriously gonna keep losing this just because of falling off the edge? Good grief. Okay. Note to self, pay more attention to the edges. That's... What a freaking anticlimactic way to keep losing the battle. And especially an annoying way to take away from something that's otherwise supposed to be just this, you know, like, kind of epic moment.
Your demise? Inevitable. I'll wipe the slate clean. When you're dead,
Okay,
actually miss
so when he sends that one pyramid thing that floats towards me, I really just gotta watch out for the edges of it.
Better dodge.
Actually, you know what? No. We'll just go like this.
your death is now. How exciting.
Doggone it, really? The one time I actually get hit by that freaking thing. Oh, hey, ammo.
Majesty made lethal.
Where are the ammo drops when I actually need them, though? Like, later on in, you know, phase 2 or whatever you want to call it.
My own decision.
He's quick.
It's a dissolution. I won't toy with you, but
He's quick.
Yeah.
This is positively invigorating.
Honestly, I'm trying to recall right now whether, you know, previous apparent final boss battles really had a way to fall off the edge like that. Like what we just saw earlier a couple of times over. 'Cause I can't say I really recall that being a thing. I figured while I had overshield, I'd better do that. Alright, where are you? Really? Sure hope I have enough ammo to get me through this. Because I definitely don't have a lot for that gun. Gain some overshield, not sure how, but I'm gonna use it. Okay. No more overshield. Yeah, maybe I should have switched to the other SMG now that I think about it. Wouldn't have had to worry about the whole shield situation so much. Again, I don't know what keeps occasionally giving me overshield, but I'm not gonna argue with it. I need to get up onto these platforms and do something from there. I'm not quite sure what that something is that I need to do from there. Because it seems mostly like I just need to keep moving. Otherwise, whatever I'm standing on is going to get zapped away. Okay, seems like that phase is done. Or at least that attack type thing. Ouch. Need to heal for sure. Now I'm just getting hit by a bunch of stuff. Losing a lot of health from it. Okay. Shield is back. At least partially. Ooh.
Gotta move.
What the? You gotta be kidding me with this crap.
Earthquake.
Oh, random ammo drop, okay. Not sure what that was all about, but not gonna argue with it. Ooh, yes. Overshield. Okay, overshield's gone. Oh, now I need to do this thing again.
Here's your snack, Trouble.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let Trouble do most of the actual, like, damage dealing in this moment. Because it's pretty much all I can manage to just keep finding more platforms to go between. So I don't fall down into the main arena and take more damage. Okay. So that's done now. Goodie.
Make him your tutor.
Ouch.
Keeping me on my toes.
Good golly! And then it's like,
Really?
all at once, a bunch of stuff hits me and deals crap tons of damage, and yeah. Okay.
Ow! Dude!
Took advantage of the overshield while I had it. Okay. Good grief!
Quit it, you creep!
Okay, I am so close now. Alright, well. Is that everything, or is that just this phase of it now? And I just realized I'm definitely over my usual episode recording length time thing, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, hello. That's got more healing than my current thing. Sorry, yeah, I know. Might be breaking the immersion, so to speak. Huh. Should I? Alright, you know what? Higher DPS and maybe not so reliant on a shield exploit. Of course, if this is like the end of the game, then does it really even matter? As far as just getting through the main story and all that, I don't know. Anyway, save Kairos. Was there another option? What is this thing?
Everything breaks. Even cages.
Okay, so did she just break that thing?
The Timekeeper's order was perfect. It was supposed to last forever. But Vault Hunters, they have a way of screwing up your plans. A Vault Hunter is more than a warrior. More than a treasure seeker. A Vault Hunter is a force of nature. They live on the borderlands between order and mayhem. A Vault Hunter is the universe's way of righting the scales when they're tipped. Kairos would never be a prison again.
And credits. Yep. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the main story for Borderlands 4. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward my way through the credits here. Okay, so minus the whole possibility of falling off the edge, I suppose, you know, the final battle was, you know, decent. I still would not. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it was among my favorite battles. Certainly not across the majority of video games. Possibly not even within the Borderlands series. But, I just wish it didn't have the whole ability to fall out of bounds thing. I guess Borderlands 2 with the warrior might have had some thing kind of like that, because it was sort of in like a lava-filled area, and if you, I don't know. Did also seem like kind of a larger area. Anyway. And given the timing of my recordings and whatnot, and, you know, how much progress I made when, I'm kind of immediately gonna need to figure out something else to hop into. Not 100% sure what just yet. Jeez, still more credits. Otherwise, yeah, so like, on the whole, it's a decent game. With, like, a lot of people seem to think that Gearbox or whoever developed the game played it a little too safe with the storyline on this one. But, like, in a way, isn't that just kind of part and parcel of the main villain being all about order and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. I do think, much like other games in the series, it does tend to kind of suffer from... gameplay-wise, I think it tends to kind of suffer from just massive spikes up and down in how difficult things appear to be. Like, either it seems like you're just breezing through things, or it's like
But for the Vault Hunter,
every move you make is gonna kill you.
was one last door to open.
Finally. Time to open that vault.
Is there gonna be anything else after the... See, now I don't know whether to keep going. Because this is just, like, wrapping up the game in a nice little bow, or if there's actually gonna be a whole lot more. I guess there's only one way to find out. I just don't want to keep going and have it kick off a series of a whole bunch of other stuff that's gonna take a while. Right,
Be
RJ.
in the vault, huh?
RJ?
That's me, the unchosen one. Could have been a vault hunter. But too late for that now.
Those powers are killing you. Maybe Lilith could help.
I don't want to talk to Lilith. I want to be free. One way or another.
Really?
I will.
Okay, you know what? I've gone on long enough. If there turns out to not be much more than this, then, well, maybe I'll find a way to split between this recording and another one. But, yeah. In case there's more after this, I want to make sure there's some kind of separation between it all to help distinguish what's going on where, maybe. I don't know. Is that even worth trying to do? I don't know. I never know with these games. Alright, well, whether practical or not, I have stopped one recording and I'm about to start the other. Apologies to anyone who might have missed something during an ad break or whatever. Anyway. Okay, well, if this truly is the beginning of whatever I edit together from recording here, yeah. Just beat the Timekeeper, entered the vault that appeared, and now I guess I'm fighting RJ.
The 10 cats wish they were you.
Vault Hunter, we're going to find you. He's trapped you in the phase. I can get to you. Stay alive.
You even know what you want? Stop looking at you!
You see, with all these minions and such, this would have been the perfect battle to use the freaking armor exploit, or the overshield exploit from the other SMG.
Losing you.
So it goes between shock and radiation.
Powerless anymore.
I don't think I can actually damage RJ right now. Trouble, I'm just gonna make you invulnerable for the moment. Is there something I'm supposed to do right now? Oh. Maybe there is. Okay. Golly. I guess one way or another, the game just felt like it had to tie up the otherwise loose end of what was going on with RJ.
What the actual crap is this?
I'm not sure what's going on here, or if I need to do anything in particular to get out of... Ow. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, really? Now you're gonna force me into... What the heck do I do here? I can't move! I can't freaking move! Really?
You haven't seen what I've seen.
You can't expect me to do one thing that requires moving while also forcing me to not move! And also, where the heck were those minions 2 seconds ago? Sure would have been nice to... I swear if this is gonna make me refight the Timekeeper all over again. It better not. Because I already defeated him and opened up the vault. Yeah, Okay, no Timekeeper. At least there's that. But good grief, like... The number of just things that the game decides it has to throw at you all at once.
I will never stop.
Actually, I should probably go with shock for now. Get rid of the shields that he's got.
Let me help you with that crazy shit.
She's just using you. Everything out and build someone new.
Oh, this also seems to be going way quicker than last time I tried this battle. Like, is that just me? Ow. Definitely could use some healing after that.
Always feels good.
Trouble! Yeah! Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Can't melee my way out of this. Oh, do I... Okay. I thought I had tried that last time, and it didn't work.
Damn things!
Blinding
Yeah, okay. Second attempt went way better / was way easier for some reason.
RJ, you got your wish. Kairos is free. I'm sorry you had to pay the price.
I found you.
So I guess that was not a vault that we, in fact, opened up.
Grabbed you just in time.
Or it was, and RJ just, like,
Where are
intercepted us in the phase.
The Timekeeper's vault. RJ ambushed you on your way through the arch, but I found you in the phase.
I tried to save him. He saved me once.
I know. But what was done to him couldn't be undone. You can't always save your friends. Trust me. As for the vault, it looks like this is the mother lode. Look around for loot and let me know when you want to go inside.
Okay. What do we have here? None of these are especially rare. Pistol's got some decent damage. I might take that. Ooh. Jeez. Way higher healing on this rep kit. SMG, not better DPS than what I've got. Assault rifle is also not as good. Grants immunity to radiation damage. None of this is really rare or... Okay, well... I mean, that shield does have... When dealing damage, 10% chance to grant overshield. Oh, heck yeah. Not to mention, it's just got more shield, period. More armor, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, none of this really... There's not too much that really stands out otherwise. Okay, is there going to be more inside the vault? Or are we just getting out of here now?
Let's see what the Timekeeper was guarding.
Still seems a little odd seeing Lilith with hair that long. Looks less weird from the front, honestly, but... yeah.
What are you expecting to find?
I have no idea. I saw so many futures.
But the moment I entered the vault, it was just blackness.
Also, her tattoos are glowing a bunch. Not as obvious that Vex's are.
Looks like this is the end. I don't get it.
What is this?
There is no what here. Only a when. Like you said, this is the end. This place is not a place. It's a moment. The last one.
What? Why does this mysterious voice sound kind of like Lilith?
The universe. It's dying in silence. And the last thing anyone hears will be us.
Who are you?
I am all that's left.
Mysterious figure that, again, looks a lot like Lilith.
I need to give you this. Take it. This is a spark. You cannot stop what's coming. But with it, you might survive. Not to be ungrateful, but what does that even mean? You'll figure it out, killer. You should go now, while there still is a now. What about you? It started with fire. Now it ends with fire. I'll keep the lights on as long as I can.
Okay. I'm confused. Pretty sure the characters here are as well.
I think we got what we came for.
What are we doing?
There are threats all across Kairos, and we're gonna need to gear up to take them on. Sanctuary's a wreck, so we'll use Moxies as a base camp. Just don't tell Claptrap.
Return to Moxie's bar. Is this just their way of, like, kind of having a canon story transition to the post game?
Hey, Killer. Just because the Timekeeper is dead doesn't mean the Crimson Resistance's work is over. If anything, it's just begun.
Okay. And there's Amara. Okay, hang on. Specializations. Oh, geez. Specialization screen features 7 nodes. Topmost base nodes are available from the start, while the secondary prestige nodes unlock through specialization point investment. Investing in base and prestige nodes unlock powerful passives and skills that can be equipped to your Vault Hunter's loadout. Specializations loadout features features 4 skill slots. The first slot is available immediately, while the other slots unlock as you gain specialization points. Base nodes. This node type will provide a small bonus to your Vault Hunter upon investment. To invest in a node, hover over the icon and press the A button. Duh. Specialization skills unlock at specific thresholds. Once a skill is unlocked, equip it to your loadout by hovering over the icon and pressing the A button. Prestige nodes. These nodes provide greater bonuses to your Vault Hunter upon investment. They must first be unlocked by investing into any connected base nodes. It keeps saying max 100. I assume that's the most specialization points you can put into any one thing. Okay, Survivor. Gains increased maximum health and shields. Increased gun damage. Okay, +1. Okay. That's +1.5% each. Sharpshooter. Gains increased reload speed and accuracy. Runner. Gains increased movement speed and multiplied melee damage. I don't know, man. I mean, if I invest in damage, it seems like I'll pretty quickly... Oh, maybe I need to do both. Like, this and this to get to Gadgeteer. Okay, gains increased ordnance cooldown rate. Ooh. Increased critical hit damage and status effect damage. Increased action skill cooldown rate and multiplied action skill damage. Jeez. Okay. I might want to go for the ordnance thing first. I think I'm going to invest in Brute to start with. Okay, and that then gives me lead or alive that I can invest in. When entering Fight for Your Life, all guns are automatically reloaded and the Vault Hunter gains increased fire rate. Sure. And then, okay, once I have 10 points in Brutes, I could possibly get this. Anyway, sorry, since that was completely new, I just thought it might be worth looking into. Meanwhile, I should see about the missions. This is, okay. Ultimate Vault Hunter, Zane's firmware. Yeah, so that seems like it's just a way to transition us into the post-game officially. Oh, talk to Lilith. Duh. Why do I keep getting moved?
Zane's been cooking up some aftermarket mods for your guns. Check in with him.
Got a little development on the old weapon design front I think you'll enjoy. Scoot yourself right along to one of me brand new upgrade machines, and I'll give you a rundown of the firmware transfer system.
Travel to firmware transfer machine. Where might that be? I don't know.
Hey, you want a drink or a job? I got both.
Where's... Oh, geez. There's all sorts of possible spots to look at. Is this one of them, or... Okay, you know what? Let me just follow the line here. Maybe I should try and stock up on ammo for things. Jeez, how far do I need to go for this? It's kind of already a bit further than I thought I might need to go. Also, am I seriously not going to encounter any enemies along the way? I mean, I'm not arguing with that, I guess. Just surprised. Well, oh, there's some enemies. Okay. Spoke too soon. I mean, I did just increase ordnance-related stuff. Specialization level 4, jeez. So, doesn't seem to take much to get these specialization levels, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm like, some enemy still remains nearby. You. Be gone. Alright, now where am I going? So, yeah. Even if there isn't really too much else story-wise, obviously the game has more to offer from, like, side quests and DLC and all sorts of other things to do. And I gotta imagine, like other Borderlands games, there's gonna be other stuff to do to, like, add extra difficulty and, like, other like item drops and things like that. Okay, so this
Always nice to see someone who can follow base constructions and isn't a complete gobshite idiot. Let's do this proper, like. Welcome to the firmware transfer interface, where the truly discerning weaponry connoisseur can up their game for the right price. I've made the process so simple, even a psycho could do it. Just open the interface.
actually, before I do that real quick, because I got another specialization point. More brute. Okay, so each point you invest makes slightly less of a difference.
See, these minted manufacturers are preventing you.
Firmware transfer. Firmware transfer machine allows for firmware transfer from one piece of gear to another. When this action occurs, the supplying firmware is destroyed. You are only allowed to transfer firmware to an item once per piece of gear.
Choose the gear of the same type you want to put the firmware in, and pay the piper.
Okay, Zane, you're talking over this, but, like, there's no subtitles or anything, so...
Better me making the money than the megacorps, no?
I don't know. Anyway. To begin firmware transfer, first select the firmware slot, then select the item containing the firmware you want to transfer. After selecting the firmware item, the gear slot will unlock, enabling you to choose an item that will receive the firmware. After selecting the item that will have new firmware applied, a preview of the item in the output slot will appear for your review before confirming the transfer.
This cannot be an improvement on the problem.
To complete the transfer, pay the transfer fee and confirm the process by using X. Man, sorry. Throat's doing weird stuff. Once completed, the new piece of gear will automatically deposit into your backpack. Okay. So, like, what does any of that mean? This. Okay, so...
We have a demon to hunt. Well, I say we. More you.
So this God Killer thing is what we'll be transferring to another piece of equipment, I assume? And I could put that in one of these things. Jeez. What if I don't know if I want to do that right now, because this is a way better rep kit. Okay. But I know I've got stuff. Main mission complete. Okay.
If you're gonna hang around here, please lend a hand.
Main mission accepted. Ultimate Vault Hunter Maurice's Bounty. So, I get, like, is this technically all considered post-game? Like, what are we doing here? This doesn't seem like main story type stuff, per se. Yeah, do I have other ways of gaining overshield besides... Uses an ordnance, she gains overshield and also increases. Sure. I'll look at other inventory stuff later. Okay. Ultimate Vault Hunter, Maurice's Bounty. Maurice, a talking saurian who probably won't eat you, runs a black market vending machine that has been intercepted by the Timekeeper. Find it and peruse Maurice's wares. So, like, what? Are we still setting up post-game stuff? Are we... Also, the name Maurice rings a bell. Like, I definitely seem to remember encountering some dinosaur type being called Maurice before. Okay, well... I'm going to keep recording for a while, A, because I'm just trying to make absolutely 100% sure that I've finished all of the, like, main story stuff, although it is calling these main quests, I guess. So, that's not what I meant to do. But, like, the Timekeeper was defeated. We also made sure there's no looming threat from RJ. But yeah, it's still, like... It is technically calling these main story quests. But I'm like, how much more could really be considered main story after all that? I don't know. Oh. Need to go this way. Not into the tree, just this general direction. Whoa. What is that? Hey, Theo Moses, appreciate you hopping by, dropping a follow and all that. Hope you're doing well.
Maurice narrows his eyes to see a fellow hunter. Be welcome to his shifting
Hello.
wares. Once purchased, Maurice's inventory will shed its old modifiers to display new, fresh frills on the same items as before. But a snarl of caution. This cowardly machine flees to a new location after a short time. So feast on Maurice's bounty while it is red and dripping. And of course, the first taste is always free. But then, the hunger.
Okay, so...
Foes are dangerous. Can you say the same?
It sounds to me like this is mostly just going to be cosmetic type stuff. I don't know.
When you kill Maurice's team,
Now it's time to put all that gear and your skills to the test. Moxie's got yet another side business she wants to show you. Go chat with her.
Main mission accepted. Ultimate Vault. Yeah. And it keeps saying Ultimate Vault Hunter with these. Also, none of these have really struck me as actually being terribly important. Big encore. Oxy has a proposition for you. Okay. Oh. Way down there, jeez. Is there anywhere near there that I could fast travel? Like this spot. Yeah, so if all of these main quests are gonna seem so relatively inconsequential, I'm not sure if I would really consider this main story stuff to any extent. I'm gonna go down. Oh, just drop down there, eh? Hey-ah. Boom. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna be able to ride the entire way through. Nope. Okay. Jeez. I really don't need to be fighting these enemies. And yet, holy cow. That one just dropped tons of iridium. Which I'm definitely not going to argue with that. Dang. Maybe I should re-equip the SMG that's got the overshield exploit thing, though, because I seem to be gaining overshield rather easily. Am I still headed the right way? Yeah, okay. At least kind of, sort of. Okay, shotgun's probably not the way to go right now. Okay, jeez. What? I just healed! Why do I need to fight for my life? You. Go away. And now I've got tons of overshield. It's like there's no in-between with this game. Either you've got tons of stuff going really well, or... Wow. Okay. That's a heck of a DPS difference for a sniper. Anyway. Like, the difference between fighting for your life and having crap tons of overshield is, like,
I think I had a dream
paper
about
thin. And honestly, that's just kind of an overall problem with the franchise as a whole. Oh, that's really weird for a sniper to do. Target marker, no. Oh, but if I mark a target first and then do the burst fire like that, okay. Whoa. Okay. I need to get up, and I'm gonna have to throw this to do so. Alright, you know what? enough with the small fry enemies. Of course, I say that after having to fight for my life against some of them. Jeez! Like, what? And now, again, crap tons of overshield. There's really just, man.
Hey, big spender, I've got something to thrill ya. You might have seen my big encore machine around the lairs of various baddies, maybe even used a couple. Well, the studs and babes in the lab have been working to kick 'em up a notch and put on a real show. We've got one ready and waiting for you. And don't worry, I already have plenty of cameras set up so no one will miss the bloodshed.
Is a big encore. Is this really gonna have me go back to, like, the first... Yeah. Kill Big Encore Splashstone. Splashstone was, like, basically the first boss in the game. First mini-boss, I guess you'd say, even. Jeez. So, yeah. Again, all of this stuff that it's touted as, like, main missions really just seem to be introducing post-game content. Speaking of more specialization stuff. Okay. Jeez, and I'm already getting shot at.
What makes sirens so special? I'm getting in there.
Jeez! I get hit with one little thing, and... You, be gone. Yes, please continue spawning more minions here and there that are basically cannon fodder. That way I have an easy way to recover shields. Or even get over shield. Yeah, the minions actually seem to be super low-leveled. The boss, however, is not.
A show, sugar. You know just how to make a girl's day. I'll be sponsoring fights all over Kairos, so keep an eye out. Mwah. See you around.
You lived to tell the tale. I'm impressed, killer. Come back and let's talk.
Okay, jeez. Bunch of kind of rare loot. Ooh. Higher DPS shotgun? Sure. And then what's this? Okay, whatever. Alright. Is there another, like, main mission thing now? Wildcard missions, yeah. Again, this all seems like just post-game stuff wrapped up in a more intricate bow. Okay. We'll look more at inventory stuff later. I am attempting to get through the missions that tell you about this post-game stuff. But I don't know where they end. But I guess with that being the case, you know, kind of glad I didn't just keep this all in one giant recording from
Okay, there's
previous.
one last thing, and I'm gonna run you through it myself.
One last thing you say.
You've proven you're a Vault Hunter a few times over now, but I want you to become the ultimate Vault Hunter. If you're looking for a challenge, prove yourself an ultimate Vault Hunter to increase the strength of enemies across the world. They'll pack extra punch, gain some new skills, and drop even better loot. To unlock levels, you have to complete wildcard missions. They'll be familiar, but with some serious twists. I can send you on one now if you want to get started on your path to Ultimate Vault Hunter. Just hit me up when you're ready.
Okay. Unpaid tab, Carcadia burn. Callus stole back the command bolt. Carcadia is in ruins, and Zane is hellbent on revenge for Sophia the Thresher. Okay. So... starting a wildcard mission will require a level load. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I think she said they would seem familiar, but with a twist. So, yeah, okay. It's telling me to go this way? Talk to Leader York.
Ah, yes, our gunslinging help. I am Leader Yorick of the Technologists. And my, look at you. The universe gives with both hands sometimes.
With that tone of voice, I'd rather you didn't look at me, actually.
Of course. To the point, Carcadia is in shambles. Power, water, fast travel, vending machines, all on the blink.
I was like, you're still looking
That
at
other
me.
stuff I can live without, but the vending machines? I draw the line there. How can I help?
Start with the power. Use those sinuous legs of yours to find the core electrical relay,
Yorick's demeanor is off-putting, but you're doing Carcadia a great service. The other two house leaders could use your assistance as well, if you have a moment.
Oh, over here. Okay. I am here. Examine.
You see those infernal Ripper orbs? They're scrambling the power circuits. Have at them.
A few bullets should take care of these bad boys.
Ah, I was like, is there something else? Why isn't it moving on? Yeah. The answer was yes. Okay. Still more over this way. Okay. Still more? Somewhere? But yeah, this mission definitely does seem familiar, alright. Oh. There's one, like, up there in the corner. Okay.
Deliciously done. Just flip the switch to reactivate the grid. Carcadia is powered once more. Now, to finish the job, find the valves to get our water flowing. And while you're about, restore our key systems. It's a simple matter of electrical rerouting.
Dude, aren't you the tech chief here? Shouldn't you be handling that?
With a fresh manicure. Are you mad? No, Yorick, don't be angry. I can't understand how offensive they've been.
Okay.
Give it a few cranks, would you?
Cranks, you say? Like...
Why do I feel dirty doing this?
Ravishing. Now flip the relevant switches, and Carcadia will be restored to technical glory, such as it is.
Okay. What do I do for the vending systems? Yeah.
That should do the job.
So efficient for a member of the proletariat. Bravo.
Thanks?
Okay. I'm hoping this will be
Any
it.
ideas percolating about that command bolt?
Only that it's certain to be with Callis, but that's the thorny bit. We've no idea.
I mean, Lilith
her
did kind of say
basis.
one
She's
last
almost
thing.
invisible to us. Strange, you know?
Okay, water's flowing again.
Impeccable work. Levane was right. You are an enticing specimen.
Yorick, really? Vault Hunter, I appreciate the help, but something rather urgent has arisen. It's Zane. After you left,
Yeah.
I went to check on him, but he was just gone. I can't.
I gotta imagine these wildcard missions are all probably gonna feature some sort of, you know,
He went out
boss
for revenge on Callis.
battle type thing, or
Precisely.
at least some significant fighting at some point, right?
On the entire Ripper army. Head southwest for Fire Dust Bridge, and quickly. I'll direct you from there.
Okay. Heading this way.
Zane's recklessness, it can be so taxing. At first, I found his unpredictability enthralling. But after our 20th daring escape from death, I realized he can't not live on the edge of disaster. He just does Zane.
Wait a sec. If Zane disappeared without a word, how do you know where to start looking?
An astute and awkward question. In our days together, we used to track each other. Well, I never stopped.
What a deeply normal relationship you two have.
His signal, rather oddly, trailed away beyond that bridge. He's as solid a lead as we'll get. If you couldn't tell, our dear Zane isn't much of a planner.
I'm trying to do this quickly to fit it in something kind of close to a normal recording length for me, but I don't know if that's actually going to end up happening.
I'm at the bridge, Levane. I don't know how Zane got across. Rippers have definitely messed with it.
Sadly, I'm not surprised. But the plateau on the other side is where Zane's signal gave out. Look for a way to lower the bridge.
Jeez. What the... Oh. Alright. Alright. Where are the remaining enemies? I guess there was one there, but that one's gone now. Okay. I think Trouble took care of it all. Right, so I have to lower the bridge. Yeah. I'm turning to the really? I didn't even mean to do what I did there. I was trying to press X to turn the crank and lower the bridge. Like, come on. Alright, where did it spawn me?
Gotta die every so often to really feel alive.
Okay. It's not super far away. So yeah, after beating RJ, all this really just seems kind of like post-game. Oh my gosh, did they really just respawn all these enemies? They respawned all these enemies just because I died from some stupid accidental thing. Alright, you know what, whatever. Go get him, Trouble. I'm like, kind of blocking my view, Trouble. Okay. Now I need to lower the second bridge. Which... I'm pretty sure I need to jump across from somewhere. Yeah, okay. Da-da-da. Okay. Second bridge has been lowered. And now, because there's no way to get from down here up to there directly, I have to jump back and then actually cross the bridge I just lowered. Also, how involved are these wildcard missions generally going to be? What? Destroy beams. Oh. Where are the beams I must destroy?
Nice. Well done,
Okay.
darling. Now hurry to the other side. I'll mark Zane's last coordinates from before his tracker faded away.
That's weird. After all this time, why would the signal suddenly peter out?
I truly can't guess. I just hope we're not too late.
Vault Hunter! Hey! It's
Quint!
Help me with these jerks, okay?
It has been too long, Quint. Really?
Phew! I was hoping you'd come.
These freaking gravity well things. Oh, hello. Yeah, Quint.
Quint? What are you doing here?
Zane said he needed a trusted lookout for an important mission. But he said I'd work too.
You're with Zane? Perfect. Where is he now?
He went ahead into the abandoned order refinery a while ago. Too long, honestly. There are tons of rippers in there. I can't call him either. Comms go haywire when you get close. Something's interfering with my signal.
Levine, I found Quent. Zane dragged him along. Turns out comms around the scrapyard are being blocked somehow.
That may explain why Callus has been so invisible to us. Perhaps she's trying to prevent the Timekeeper from finding out what she's...
Damn, comms really are on the fritz.
Okay. I don't know if this is really gonna wrap up anytime particularly soon, to be quite honest. I also don't want to sit here recording forever. So, yeah. I guess I might come back to this just until I complete this thing and, like, you know, have fully, like, unlocked Ultimate Vault Hunter mode and, for lack of a better way to put it, enabled all the post-game stuff, just, you know, so it's obvious how to make that happen.
No harm in knocking, I guess. Delivery of... Ugh, what do Rippers like? Spines! Lots of them!
What? Didn't you hear the main gate's closed, moron? We've got some fast-talking merc prowling around.
I will say this was probably one of my more liked missions in the game. Just
I forgot. On account of being a dumb Ripper.
in part because of the dialogue.
What? Can you hear me? The front gate's sealed, but they have the password at the Ripper camps nearby. I'll check it out. Meet me at the side gate, okay?
A blind date? I mean, I'm game, I guess, but so you know, I have a severely inflamed left...
Not blind date. Side gate. Yeah, forget it. I'll try him after I get that password.
Okay. So, yeah, I think the rest of this mission is still going to take a while, though. So, with that in mind, I think I'm going to pause what I'm doing for now, come back to it later, and then once I'm done with this whole wildcard mission thing, then maybe I'll actually fully call it a wrap for Borderlands 4, because it seems like that's the last thing to do since completing these kinds of missions is what unlocks Ultimate Vault Hunter mode that, you know, increases the challenge, but also the loot drops. It pretty much ups all the stuff that is kind of, you know, signature of the Borderlands franchise. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for this particular bit of recording. And because of the way everything happened, like, I wound up recording through at least 2 different ad breaks and all sorts of stuff like that happened, but oh well. That doesn't even work for a Siren class, so junk. Shimmering Radiance, let me compare. So what I currently have equipped increases movement speed, action skill cooldown, and reload speed. That's just pistol damage. Skill critical hit. Health regen per second is nice, but I can't, like, Action skill cooldown, dang it. Junk. This. Reload speed, energy shield regeneration rate, and pistol. Why? And yeah. All of these class mods are really more a preference for like the kind of things you want to emphasize is all. When firing from maximum charge, guns with order license parts have a 30% chance. But gun critical damage, gun reload speed, gun magazine size. Whereas the newer one is increased shotgun damage, status effect damage, and magazine size. Also, guns with dataless license parts gain 1% fire rate per each bullet fired for up to a maximum 50 stacks, which reset on reload. Not convinced that's that much better. Heavy gun ordnance, not as much damage. Risky boots. Okay, you see, this is the kind of stuff where... Alright, hang on. So, like, instead of just straight up junking some of these things that have the... Like this one. Let me not junk it, and maybe I could do the whole, like... The thing at the machine that Zane mentioned. Yeah, that seems like just a worse shield all around. So anything that doesn't have that kind of, I don't know what you call them, modifier thing. That stuff, I'll just straight up junk. The others, I might want to keep to use the, like, I think I would be able to attach Action Fist to something else. Neither of these have anything of that sort, so... Alright. Sniper... I mean, that is way lower DPS. And I don't think any of the rest of these are snipers. No. Okay. Shotgun. No, 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 no. Well, I was about to say no other shotgun to compare, but there's that one. Meh. Secondary fire consumes assault rifle ammo. Although I will say I kind of ignored the whole grenade thing. Okay. No other assault rifles, so now I'm just comparing SMGs. Energy transfer. Okay, you see, that's the one with the shield exploit that I was starting to wonder if maybe I should just keep anyway. And use anyway. Okay, wait. Energy transfer. Also energy transfer, but with a higher DPS. Oh. Okay. Then, you know what? Equip that one. And now I'll start comparing. Okay, so that one also has energy transfer, but with a way lower DPS. Junk that. That one, I guess if I don't want to be reliant on the whole overshield thing, this one might be good to keep around. That one, no. That's a pistol. And now I'm just comparing pistols. Okay, hang on. 1042, 1005, 1118. But that one's also got an element. So does that one, I guess. I don't know. I tend to keep it pretty simple with this stuff, but I think I might actually ditch that one. But not right now. Right now, I think I'm actually just gonna say that's a wrap, and end the stream here, because even with my whole strategy, or whatever you want to call it, of editing stuff during, well, basically any meal with breakfast that I have here, even with that, I'm like just kind of keeping up with what I record. Even though I also have like reduced my streaming time per week by an hour. Anywho, okay. Lest I keep rambling on, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Only got one viewer on Twitch. Feel a little weird doing a raid under those circumstances. In fact, there are some people that I might not even actually be able to raid because of that. So you know what? I'm just gonna... Jeez. Thunderstorm going on outside. Sorry, that was the... Jeez. I've actually been hearing it in the background for a while, just not really bringing any attention to it. Anyway, so... rather than raid, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that and just kind of wrap things up my own way. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed whichever part of the stream you happened to tune in for. Next week, we'll be continuing the Bible study in Job, and then bouncing back to Hogwarts Legacy for the gaming portion of things. So it's that definitely has a little bit clearer direction and definitely more story involvement in what I'm doing there. But yeah, should be roughly the same time. But otherwise, feel free to look out for video edits and such that I post regularly. And of course, feel free to follow on all the different social media pages and different things like that. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another stream or whatever. In any case, till next time, stay cool, everybody.